I'm John, and I'm here to talk a little more about J&L. This video here, I want to touch on the concept of a hobby versus a business and what it meant for me. When I first started J&L, it was purely the offshoot of making beard oil for myself, for friends, to save me and them money, to make a better product than was available on the market. It was purely a hobby. It was done for self enjoyment, for fun. Uh, didn't expect much to come from it, other than a better beard. It didn't take long for the word to get out among friends, and little by little, in a short period of time, uh, I'm selling in a couple stores, or actually barbershops, and needing to buy more materials, spending more time making stuff, designing stuff, and that led to, oh, let's create a website for it. Let's get a Facebook page. Let's do these little things that just kind of hype it up. If it means a few extra dollars are made, that's awesome. Uh, at the time that this really got going, I was working full time in a chocolate factory. I think it was our first festival appearance. We shared a booth with a lady who made upcycled uh, fashion leather jackets and clothing into accessories, belts, ties, uh, little satchels, kind of cool stuff. It was an opportunity. They just came knocking, and I jumped on. I didn't have a lot of stuff, so it worked well to share the space with somebody else who didn't have a lot of stuff or didn't need a lot of space. We both did well, had great position, but that is when the word really got out. And I gained a lot of customers, new customers that are still with us today. They still seek us out at festivals. They will order online. They've told friends. Uh, and there are still some of our biggest supporters. It became a business when I had to start managing it. When it's a hobby, you can just kind of monitor what you're doing. If you're doing a hobby where you're making some things for other people and selling it for a few bucks, as long as you have the stuff on hand, you make it. Yes, it's available. If you don't have it on hand and somebody says, "Hey, I want this," they're a friend. There's somebody that you can say, "Hey, well, I'll order more stuff and I'll make you up a couple here. Give me a couple days." No real problem. You're happy. They're a friend. What are they gonna do? uh, it was purely enjoyment. It was fun. Something to do. It allowed me to use a skill set that I have that I didn't use in my day-to-day job. It allowed me to explore new things. It allowed me to learn all the things that people look for in a hobby. It wasn't destructive. It was constructive. But when I'm selling to other businesses and I'm selling to more people, it's a point where you have to I have an acronym for it called CYA, cover your ass. I had to make sure that any repercussions, negative outcomes that could ever happen, I'm protected. You know, that I am legitimate to those who are concerned. That means registering with the city and county as an entity. Doing that, then getting a federal tax ID, getting a state revenue department tax ID, so I can collect sales tax and report sales tax and pay sales tax. The website went from just being a little single page that talked us up to being a more robust store. I went from doing Etsy as my means to sell to then doing it all under one roof. So when you come to my webpage and you browse around and learn about us and feature the product and see what people are saying, they can go right in and buy it. When I was looking for more functionality out of a e-commerce solution for us, I reinvented it all again and went to new hosting service, uh, totally redesigned the website, more robust web service. That's on the public side of things. Because I'm having to manage so much product, raw goods coming in, finished goods going out, I had to have some way to keep track of it all. And as I was growing more items in our assortment, that meant more ingredients, more bottles, more jars, more of that. I need to see how my cash flow was moving. So that meant getting QuickBooks and QuickBooks for a small business, not just general accounting. Not only does it track my money, it tracks my inventory. All these little tools turn a hobby into full on work. There's work involved in many hobbies, especially a hobby that you're making, and you're trying to get out there among other people. Some hobbies are very passive. It's collecting, it's reading, it's listening to music, uh, watching movies. Some are very engaged and can be quite expensive types of collecting, getting into softball or certain athletics, adventuring, spelunking, caving. Those are hobbies that you spend a lot of money in, but the joy that you get out of it is equal, sometimes even greater. But as a business, the money is one of the commodities involved. I'm exchanging a product for money. I'm taking the money to get a product to then make into another product to then get money. It's work. Doesn't diminish the joy. Doesn't diminish what I get out of it. It just becomes work, and I have to treat it that way. It's one of those jobs that they say when you get if you love your work, you have a job for life. That's what this is. The other great part of what I do, they take it from a hobby where it's more isolated, it's more limited in exposure. I only put out to the public as much as I want to, and I'm not looking to necessarily be found. You know, if I have a little uh, vanity page, look at what I make and do, that's cool. And it might strike some interest up, and people may contact me and would want to learn more, get their hands on what I was doing or whatever. As a business, I'm putting me and everything about me out there out in front. I can do my best to control aspects of it, but I'm public. There's no way to truly hide with what I do and just have a facade of J&L Joel. It comes more to be a part of me and part of my everyday. I don't punch a clock. I'm not going off and working hard to make somebody else money. And even in those situations, you still should do it because you enjoy it. There are so many gratifying things about what I do that serve that hobby side. And I still have my other hobbies. I have my video games, I have my collecting, I have my music, I have my cooking. All that's there. Just that one hobby, I now do for income. And the great thing is being that I built it, I created it. It's a monster that I'm more able to control. I have more influence on what enjoyment I get out of it. I have more capability of steering it. So all that, it's a positive. Now, the words I want to share with those that are at somewhere along that path or want to be along that path that I am and have been on, don't be intimidated. Still love what you're doing. If you find you're not loving it, then maybe it's time to sit back and find out why. Maybe there's times that I've run into roadblocks that just like I don't know if I want to go. I don't want to push it. I don't, you know, especially if you put a lot of love and passion into a new product and it kind of like drops like a lead balloon. Uh, that happens, and you feel rejected. you feel like you let yourself down. Uh, but the learning you get from that then makes you stronger and lets you do more. And the takeaways you get from that failure can be used to make that failure better or find something that comes close to that to still serve that same goal you're looking for out of that. Don't feel you have to get rich quick. Don't feel bad if you're the only one getting it. Others will get you soon enough. If you're putting yourself out there with what you're doing, you're crafting whatever, and you're trying to get it out to people and want people to get it. And you'll probably have people that don't, especially if it's art. Not everybody's going to get it. And there's things, people pass by and not see what you see, and then you get that person that comes up and sees what you see, and it gushes all over it, and you're like, yes, it's joy. So don't give up. Don't let it deter you. If you're looking to be a business, then you'll want to cater what you're doing to the marketplace to keep going, and you can still do your special things that really fully serve your art. It is possible. That's why there are the specialty brand lines out of major corporations, because that's a little more cool thing. It's a different angle they can go. It's. I thought I would be initially just doing stuff for men, essentially bearded men. And when I had all sorts of people buying my stuff because they found a use for it that suited their life, took care of their hair, their skin, made them feel good, that's a win. And why would I say I don't want to sell to you because you're not my core customer? That's just stupid thinking anyway. We see J&L as being our very facial hair oriented business. That is what it is about. It is what it will remain to be about. That's what pogonotrophic means, is beard care. So our shaving products, all that will be under that. But as we grow into a business, we had to separate out everything else that didn't fit that aesthetic. And we have Joel. As a business that came from a hobby, you can still play. You can still try and dabble and come up with new creations. You are your own R&D department. And everything that you did to make it a hobby and turn it into a business needs to still be there. Don't get cold. Don't turn your back on that. Be open to change and adapting, trying new things that are out of your wheelhouse. Like making videos to talk about all this. It always should be fun, no matter what. I can say that as we are today as a business, our business has a hobby of having fun. Our business has a hobby of meeting people, getting to know all sorts of awesome people. The amount of fun I've had with total strangers with this business has been the highest level of enjoyment that I could get. It gives me goosebumps thinking about some of the people I've met, some of the silly things I've done. Dancing with a female police officer in the middle of a street in Andersonville. Why not? It's fun, and she had a good time. I had a good time. We all laughed, and her partner was there laughing, and everyone's like, "What are you doing? Dance with that police officer over there?" I'm having fun. She liked my beard and thought I was a happy, jolly-looking person, and she wanted to dance. How can I say no? So, with all that in mind, I want to close out on this, and please have some fun with me. Follow this page by subscribing, like this video, share it with others, and look for more to come from us. Thank you very much.